Hello, this is Heather with Creativity by Heather BE. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fabulous day. So today I am going to be showing you a shaker card using three different types of sequins, colors of sequins in three different compartments. So this is the original card that I created for a Brutus Monroe inspiration blog hop. And I didn't film that one, but I decided I wanted to make another, so I went ahead and filmed it so you can see how easy it is to make three different compartments. So what I'm using is the birthday circle stencil from Brutus Monroe, and I'm going to be doing some stencil stamping, which is a really easy technique I'm going to show you here in a moment. So I am starting with a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I am using Distress Oxide Festive Berries, and I am just laying down a generous coat all over this panel. I'm not worrying about any type of blending. I just want to make sure that I have a good coat, because to do the stencil stamping, you want to make sure you have a lot of Distress Oxide on there. You could even take it directly pad to paper, and that would work as well too. So you can see my well-loved stencil, and it just keeps on going. This is probably one of my favorite stencils from Brutus Monroe. And so I am generously, and I mean coating generously, the stencil with water. I'm using a Distress spray bottle, and you want the water to be almost dripping off of the stencil. You really want it wet. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over, and I'm just going to place it down, and once you place it, be careful, don't slide it. And I'm going to take a towel and drop it down on top and just gently push. I'm not rubbing, because you don't want to slide your stencil. So as you know, Distress Oxide reacts with water. So when you add the water to the stencil, what you're going to get is this beautiful pattern from the stencil, which is why it's called stencil stamping, which is kind of cool, and it's so simple. And as we know, stencils are very inexpensive, so there's so many fun ways you can use them. And I did do a video of 9 ways to use a stencil that I'll link above. So I'm going to set that aside to dry. And for the birthday part of my sentiment, I wanted that to be in a rainbow color. So I'm using rainbow colors of the aqua pigments, and I'll have all the colors listed below. And these are colors that I have in my palette, and they have dried, and if you just add water to them to reactivate it, they work as great as if when they first were in the bottle. So this first one is the red, I believe, and I love this red color. The deep dark color you get is just gorgeous. These aqua pigments, if you have not tried them, go to the site, check them out. I've got other videos where I've used them. I am not a watercolorer, but oh my goodness, these make you feel like you're a pro. They are so fun to work with. So you can see I'm just kind of laying out my rainbow color, and I laid my die down. I am using the Happy Birthday die set from Brutus Monroe. So I'm going to cut the happy out 3 times and for my shaker elements, and then have the birthday at the bottom in this rainbow panel. So once I've got the rainbow going across, I'm going to let that dry. And you can see how gorgeous the panel is that I did with the Distress Oxide and the stencil. And you can do this with any color oxide. I could have done a rainbow on here, any colors that you want. And it's such a fun, easy technique. So what I'm doing is I'm going to lay the happy in 3 down 3 vertical, and then put the birthday on the bottom. So I use my die cutting machine and cut out each of them, and make sure you save the inside parts. So you can see I've got like the bottom of the Y and the 2 areas of the P up at the top, and I'll also save the happies that I cut out to use on another card. So I'm laying down a piece of acetate, and once I get that down, I'm going to glue on to the front the insides of the Y and the P. And you could leave those out if you want. It would give more area where you would be able to see the shaker bits. But I decided I wanted to go ahead and add them back in just to give the full writing of the word happy. So I'm laying down my tape runner, and I'm adding the acetate. And then I'm just going to use some Brutus Monroe craft glue and my tweezers to easily add glue to glue those little pieces in. And what I find is easiest is I squirt out some of the glue on a scrap sheet of paper like I'm doing here, and then using my tweezers I just kind of drag the piece through. I think this is the easiest way for me that I found to add little bits in when I'm filling different die cuts in, rather than trying to put the glue onto the little piece and then put it down. I tend to get more glue than I need, and so it just makes a mess. So you can see there I've got those added in, and off camera I cut out the birthday, and I love how bold this is with the rainbow from the aqua pigments. I just think it really turned out gorgeous. I actually like this birthday better than on the original card, the one that was up on the blog post. So I pulled out my giant roll of Brutus Monroe foam tape. This thing is so big it comes in a pizza box. And I'm going to double it up because I want to make sure I have lots of room for my shaker bits to move around. So I just cut off a large strip and double it up, and then I'm going to cut that in half because I want some thin strips to be able to fit around the happies. So what I'm going to do with my foam tape is I'm actually going to make 3 little kind of well areas. So that way the 3 colors of shakers that I put in, as you can see there, they're going to stay within that particular happy die cut word. And this is a simple way to make your shaker cards a little more fun and add different colors. So I'm using the bottle cap sequence. I'm using Ballerina. This one here is Cotton Candy. And then I'm also going to use the Glass Slipper. And I am putting a lot in these. The Cotton Candy, there's going to be a little bit more just because I had more left. I actually believe had 2 packages of those. And remember, this is the second card I'm creating this way with the same sequence. So I have had to reorder these. I love the Brutus Monroe bottle cap sequence. They have a lot of color to them. They're flat. They look different in different shades of light. So I'm filling that up, and then I'm going to take a piece of mermaid glitter stock and put over the back. And I actually messed up on this. On the original card, I cut my panel down so the mermaid glitter stock was a matte, and I forgot to cut this one down. So basically I just put mermaid glitter stock behind, and you can see it through the happies, but it didn't really create a matte. But at that point I already had my foam tape and everything on, so I just rolled with it. So the last thing to do is to add my birthday, and I am just using a Nuvo glue pen to add that down. And I am going to go in and add some sequins around the outside of this card just to give it a little bit extra something. So I will add those in around the happy. And that's the finished card. I love this technique. I love shaker cards. It's so much fun. I'd love to see what all you create. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget, if you're not already, to subscribe and like and give us a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Have a great day.